States, a 150-strong armed militia is occupying a federal building in the state of Oregon. They're calling on what they deem American patriots to join them and stand up against the government in Washington.
And bring your arms, and the point is, until that line is drawn and say we've had enough of this tyranny, you are going to leave us alone. It will not change. And you guys see, this is the power of America right here. People got together for this. It doesn't have to stop here. This could be a hope that spreads through the whole country, the whole United States. Everybody's looking for this hope because the government has beat us and oppressed us and took everything from us. They will not stop until we tell them no.
The militias say they're not ruling out violence either if police try to remove them from the occupied premises. The standoff started as a debate over the federal government's authority in local matters. Artitika Piskunov explains a bit more.
This all comes off the back of two local farmers, first being convicted of arson, put in jail. This case was viewed by the authorities in the framework of the anti-terror law, which wasn't really explained to the locals of why this was done so. Then, after they served their time, it seems that a federal judge decided that it wasn't enough and, sentenced more time for these people. It seems that that's what caused this public outrage. It seems that it went much wider than the local public and touched the nerve of those opposing the federal government. We are looking at about 150 armed people who seem to have occupied federal building. They're calling the federal government as being tyranny. They're threatening to occupy more state buildings, and they're calling for more people to join them.
We're going to be freeing these lands up and getting the ranchers back to ranching, getting the miners back to mining, getting the loggers back to logging, and where they can do it under the protection of the people and not be afraid of this tyranny that's been upon them.
We know that local authorities have closed the local schools in that area. They're advising the residents not to go there.
The story is getting plenty of online attention today with the hashtag Oregon under attack trending on Twitter. People there are asking why heavily armed men are being allowed to act in this way.
Did I miss the call for the National Guard in Oregon? I recall them in Ferguson and Baltimore.
If they were Muslims, we'd be talking about bombing countries. But they're white Christians.
Peaceful, with some military-grade weapons, and said they're ready to die. Sure, why not?
A psychotic militia has taken over a federal building in Oregon. Tell me again how it's Syrian refugees we're supposed to fear.
So apparently you can walk up into a federal building looking like this. It just radiates peace.
And we've just seen this man among the protesters. His name is Bundy. He's got previous experience of opposing the government too. In 2014, a dispute over ranch land between his father and the Nevada authorities led to an armed standoff. Federal agents faced heavily armed activists from all across the country at one point, ready to defend the ranchers' interests. In the end, the security forces withdrew, with the activists proclaiming victory. Among those who came to show their support in the standoff was also a self-proclaimed civil militia called the Oath Keepers. They and other groups have been involved in other interventions too.
Camera needs to back.
It's hard to see. I can barely see. All that's on one section.